Startup Podcast PH is co-produced by Y Spaces, Apiron, Tuala, Symph, Sekuna, Red Circle Global, Maroon Studios, and Aim High. Check out our partners in the description.
Welcome sa Startup Podcast PH, inspiring more Filipino entrepreneurs and innovators. Live tayo ngayon dito sa 2025 Regional Science, Technology, and Innovation Week in Western Visayas, organized by DOST Region 6 here in Robinsons, Rojas, Capiz. We have our third podcast feature now from the Blue Economy exhibit, Fish Eye from the UP Diliman Marine Science Institute. And we have the Project Development Officer, Sir Justin Doctolero. Hello, sir. Kamusta?
Okay lang po. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Ayan, very promising, sir. Actually, very innovative sa Fish Eye. So, napuntahan ko pala exhibit ninyo. Grabe ang kanyang technology dito and also the impact that you're trying to make here,
Thank you.
And in this podcast, we'd like to know more about what you're really doing and even yung mga stories behind. Paano ba ito na-start ma-invent? Paano ito kino-commercialize? And ano yung parang directions for Fish Eye technology moving forward. But I let you do the introduction, Sir Justin. So ano nga ba, sir, ang Fish Eye?
Okay. So Fish Eye is a patented hardware software technology. It's a semi-automated refish visual census system. So it's patented kasi we already have 5 patents in Indonesia, Brazil, Mexico, United States, and the Philippines, of course. Hardware kasi we have developed a patented stereo camera rig, which allows us to gather data for the software part, which is the video analyzer. So the video analyzer gives you automated generation of fish species ID, count, size and length, estimation, biomass. So it's the weight of the fish. So all of this is an integrated system between the hardware and the software.
Actually, yung name pa lang, sir, Fish Eye. Tama ba na medyo Fish Eye, as in eye, mata, kasi mini-video or mini-monitor yung mga fish in the waters. And then eye, as in letter I siya, kasi may pagka-technology. Tama ba yun, sir?
Yes. So, actually, tama ka. So, it's Fish Eye kasi you look at the fishes. And then I, kasi it's actually fish plus AI. It is AI. It capitalizes on AI for the fish species identification.
So parang how it works, sir, merong hardware. Is the hardware like in the water?
Yes. So you deploy the Fish Eye rig underwater, similar to what we do with the manual fish visual sensors. So the manual fish visual sensors is in a site. You will put a 100-meter transect minimum, and then a fish expert or someone who knows fish will swim along the transect to visually and manually identify the fish species, count them, and estimate their sizes. So imagine the amount of expertise and the years of training to be able to do that.
And now, with AI, you don't necessarily have to have that swimmer kasi once the camera gets the image, it can be processed and it can be analyzed by your software na. Is that correct?
Yes. More of the analysis. Kasi deployment is still done by scuba divers.
Okay.
You mimic the transect points. So you have to move the rig every certain point. But you are removing now the human factor in the analysis.
Baka magkamali sa nakita. I mean, it's human error. I mean,
yes.
May ganun din ba like maybe namali sa kita or maybe namali sa calculation. So we now let the AI or the computer do that.
Yes. In fact, and though I have to stress this, that Fish Eye is here not to replace the experts. Okay, not to replace the fish biologists, marine scientists, but to capacitate other stakeholders.
Yeah.
Yung fish experts kasi very limited.
Yes.
And if you know the Philippines, we are an archipelago and we have thousands of kilometers of coastal areas. And now, medyo on time ang tubig. May it be like flood control or West Philippine Sea. Medyo talaga popular topic ang tubig. And the Philippines is very rich actually in marine or natural resources. But we unfortunately the expertise we lack them. We want to monitor as much as coastal areas as possible. Pero yun nga, hindi talaga kaya. But you have certain in the LGU, for example, you have certain offices that are mandated to do this, mandated to monitor our seas, our coastal areas. Pero then again, it's the capacity. Yung mga natitrain, minsan nalilipat, nagiging management. So, walang nag-field work. Yung iba naman, majority of people who are placed in municipal agriculture or environmental offices, unfortunately, are foresters. So, there is actually somehow a bias. Marine is not properly represented. And the Philippines is an archipelagic country. So, yun talaga.
Yeah, so actually this is also a way pala para to kumbaga to multiply or to replicate the capacity or yung expertise or yung the act of monitoring marine life to different parts of the country. Kumbaga na multiply yung capacity and yung capability na yun.
Yes.
And what I see dito, sir, so parang maybe let's move backward konti kasi this helps multiply the capacity, but this also solves the problem or the need to monitor marine biodiversity or the marine life, So siguro, sir, let's let's talk more muna about the problem din na yun of why really do we need to monitor the marine
Yes.
life. So sige, can I ask you that, sir? Ano nga ba yung kahalagahan or maybe yung the benefits ng society, ng communities if we properly monitor marine life?
Okay, so one, this is actually going back to the problem. No? This is actually one of my frustrations. Kasi we are an archipelagic country. We are surrounded by water. But alam nyo, I am not a marine scientist or marine biologist, yung aking background. But when I entered the Marine Science Institute in UP, Diliman, doon ko lang nalaman that the Philippines is within the Coral Triangle. The Coral Triangle is considered as the center of marine biodiversity.
Yes.
Actually, the Verde Island College is the center of the center. Coral Triangle is the center of marine biodiversity. And in the middle of it is the Philippines. The center of the center. Diba, parang, bakit hindi ko siya alam in the elementary or secondary level? Why it was not like emphasized on me that the Philippines actually is so blessed with marine resources. So, it goes to the problem. Meron na nga tayong resources. Unfortunately, hindi natin alam. So, monitoring is important, or at least knowing what is there. Kasi, you know the value of it. Alam mong rich ang Philippines sa marine resources, but by how much? That we don't know. And that is why monitoring is important. At the same time, there is climate change. There are, unfortunately, bad human practices that destroys our marine resources. So, aside from knowing what's there, we should also know what's the state of our coral reefs. So, that is with monitoring. To the problem, we go back to sa sinasabi ko kanina. We lack the expertise to do so. You have here coastal areas. I don't know, here in Rojas.
Yeah, it is the seafood capital of the Philippines. So I think Rojas City, I think as one of the longest parang yung sa Baybay, tama 'di ba? I think it's a very long coastal area na where I think there are that's the place where fishermen fish ren, so it's actually, I think Rojas is a very good place then
Yes.
to benefit from fish eye.
Yes, but one shocking revelation. I don't know if this is true. Pero kahapon, someone approached our booth and said that Rojas was and that is the seafood capital anymore because bumababa na yung number of fish or seafood na nakukuha dito. And probably one reason, again, climate change or poor fishing practices. So we can say that it was overexploited, but we are still hopeful that given the urgency, or at least they know now na ganun yung state ng kanilang coastal areas, they will do management interventions.
Yeah, I think parang ang ano dito, no? Kasi if you don't monitor, if you don't measure, if you don't see what you are getting, what you are consuming, it will really be kumbaga, even if you're not if you don't have bad intentions, but the fact that you don't measure, the fact that you don't actually see what's going on under the ocean, of course, huhuli ng isda, huhuli ng for food, 'di ba? And that's good actually for the fishermen. Pero maybe the fact lang na we're blind in like the numbers, the quantity, and even the diversity. So mahirap siya ma-manage.
That's true.
I think kailangan ng technology talaga to actually monitor,
Yes.
para nga mabantayan at makatulong sa pag-regulate. There's nothing bad in, like, of course, in fishing or in getting the species for our food. Pero kailangang sakto lang.
Yes.
Kailangan
So I will so here dito papasok yung sikat na word ngayon na science-based governance. So kaya 'di ba pinupush nila na dapat lahat ng management interventions is somehow backed up by science. Because science tells you really what it is. So hindi nakakahaka yung ginagawa mo. For example, we are pushing for marine protected areas or fish sanctuaries. One misconception about fish sanctuaries or marine protected areas is that you limit or you take away the livelihood from the fisher folks. But actually, a proper marine protected area or a fish sanctuaries have zones. So you have core zones that are strictly no fishing areas, and then you have buffer zones. The idea of core zones is for fish to repopulate. And so a certain area lang siya.
tama.
And then eventually, fish, pag dumami na yan, it will spill over. And that is what we call the buffer zones. And then doon ka mangingisda. So that is actually the structure of a proper marine protected area or fish sanctuary. So you have a safe haven for fish to repopulate, di sila nagagalaw. But you have areas where fishermen cannot fish. Dito mo maririnig yung mga storya ng mga fisher folks when they say, dati, dito lang sa malapit, marami kaming nahuhuli. Pero throughout the years, kailangan lumayo na kami ng lumayo. Kasi nandun na yung mga isda. So, if you have marine protected areas near your coast, you have a safe haven for them, they don't really need to move away anymore. Kasi parang somehow stable na yung supply ng fish. Kasi you protect a certain part, and then you allow pa rin naman fisher folks to fish at certain areas.
I think parang I recall lang sa ibang bansa, I guess, really controlled na yung mga fishing for a hobby. Kung nag-fish ka ng malaki, even ng malaking isda or ng maraming isda, it's actually illegal. So may control din talaga sa amount of fish that you take. But anyway, sir, going back to fish eye, so now, parang interesting ito, yung may core zone, may buffer zone. So, on that end, how can fish eye really parang help that? Where, like, mag-monitor ba doon sa core zone na parang dapat na maintain yung ganitong population of fish? So, paano siya exactly i-implement?
So, we've been around not only fish eye, but, different projects in the Marine Science Institute. And one thing that we have noticed with MPAs or fish sanctuaries they are just papers. Sa papel lang sila nag-exist. But in terms of management and in practice, hindi talaga siya nag-exist. And that is why we go to monitoring. In monitoring, doon mo makikita if the management intervention, like sabihin mo ng limiting nung net sizes or closing the certain area for a certain season is effective. So monitoring tells you that. And Fisheye, as a capacity building tool, helps areas with no experts to do monitoring.
Yeah. So actually, on that end, na parang that's why you multiply yung capacity kasi you don't need that high expert level para makapag-monitor ng maayos.
Yes. So then, diba? So for you to know the status of fish in that area, you need an expert or at least someone who knows fish visual senses to manually inspect that area or conduct survey. Pero again, thousands of kilometers of coast. And ilan lang, and not just marine scientists, no, ilan lang ang scientists sa Pilipinas. Sobrang konti. And we cannot cover everything. And as I mentioned a while ago, meron naman ding offices that are tasked to do monitoring in their respective LGUs or provinces, but they are not, they don't have the expertise or the knowledge to do so. So again, we are not taking away yung trabaho ng mga experts, but it actually, we try to scale up monitoring by capacitating stakeholders with this tool.
Siguro sir to have a more more concrete para mas ma-imagine ko rin at ng ating mga audience. So for example, let's say in Rojas or maybe in another place, how exactly parang do you approach maybe the LGU for example na parang nagmamanage or yung body na nag-manage dun sa coastal area, and then how do you distribute the technology given it's a hardware and may software component, and how is it installed? So parang maybe pa-share lang sa amin ng picture kung paano talaga ito i-deploy from like approaching the bodies concerned, and then to actually deploying, and then to monitoring even.
So, yung Fisheye, as mentioned, is actually a spin-off. It is a startup that started from a government-funded project, the UST-funded project actually. So from conceptualization to market validation to commercialization, dumaan yung Fisheye done through the UST funding. And from there, doon namin nalaman that actually, unfortunately also, monitoring and environmental protection is not part of the priorities of LGUs, as we all know. Kasi syempre, livelihood talaga ang pinaka-basic, and then education, infrastructures. But environment, ang tingin nila doon ay gastos. Medyo magastos. Which is the sad reality, no? And they don't realize, especially for coastal areas, that is where they get their resources from. But then again, so going around LGUs, it's actually, Fisheye is a hard sell. One, for LGUs na merong capacity naman, threatened yung mga taong kaya mag-fish visual sensors na baka palitan sila. Or pangalawa, for LGUs that doesn't have these people, they don't have the funding for it. Sadly, technology needs a little bit of medyo comes on a pricier end, but they don't see that it's an investment. It's a big investment at the beginning, but if you use it properly, it will be a sustainable one hanggang sa dulo. So Fisheye started piloting deployments at different LGUs. We actually started as a service. So we will train you how to do the method, how to capture the data, and then you will have to send to us the data. Because AI and fish ID, species identification, count, biomass needs lots of computational power. So servers, Our servers are hosted in UP Diliman. So after mo mag-gather ng data, you have to send to us the data for analysis and then ibabalik namin sa iyo. It is not an ideal setup for LGUs kasi yun yung natutunan namin all throughout Fisheye is service is a hard sell. LGUs somehow want something tangible. When I say I bought Fisheye, gusto niya ng device. Gusto niya ng hardware. Though this is actually an ideal setup for international partners because hindi lang sa Philippines namin na-deploy ang Fisheye. We've been to Indonesia, Hawaii, Red Sea, and Saudi Arabia. This is perfect for them, international people. Kasi they don't need to buy the technology. They just have to gather data and send to us the data for analysis, and then we will send them the report. The report is much more important to them than the tangible hardware. Going back, hindi ganon ng LGUs. Hindi ganon ng local or probably in the Philippine setting. They want something tangible.
So, product.
Yun din yung dinevelop namin ngayon. If you can see in the booth, may maliit na box dyan.
Ayun.
That is a prototype. That is what we call Fisheye box. Fisheye box is a block box that it will be ideally stationed in the LGUs for analysis, data analysis. The Fisheye software is 97% accurate for 517 species common in the Coral Triangle. So say 60 to 70% of the coral reef species around the world in the Coral Triangle are in the Coral Triangle, no? So the common species nung doon sa Coral Triangle, we are 97% accurate in identifying. But of course, given optimal survey conditions like good lighting and clear visibility. So, yun yung library na nakapasok doon sa black box. The black box can do species ID of common species and count. No biomass. Kasi again, as mentioned a while ago, kailangan niya ng mataas na computational power for biomass. And if in the international partners, biomass also is important to them, we also saw that in the use case of LGU, it's just count and species ID. So perfect yung box. So now, aside from the rig and the cameras, analysis will be done on site. So meron na sa LGUs. Pero, yun naman, yun talaga yung R&D, medyo ano talaga yan, mahabang proseso. We've figured out that it is still somehow a big investment for LGUs. So for now, we are proposing that at least since Fisheye is a DOST product, every DOST region or DOST province would have a box. Sa region na yon or sa province na yon, naka-house yung box. But per each municipality, coastal municipality, we can still train them how to gather data. Pupunta na lang sila sa DOST ngayon for the data analysis. Yeah. One, it is advantageous kasi una-una maaalagaan. No ownership to a certain LGU. Second, data is shared between the LGU and DOST. So if there are like data problems or ownership problems with the LGU, you can always go to the DOST for the data. So that is a proposal. Ideally, perfect sana per LGU one box. But we can start with per DOST province or region.
Ayan, yun parang ang distribution ng Fisheye, ano. Ano ako, sir, yung report dito, ano yung parang laman niya? Parang, ano ba yun, per species of fish doon sa area, merong quantity, or parang meron, and then meron ding report na parang, this species is endangered, this species is okay, yung amount, yung population niya, parang, like, what exactly yung laman ng report na makakuha ng, for example, the LGUs?
So in general, so in species ID, nililista niya lahat ng nakita niya, no? So up to the species level, kinakount niya yun. Kinukuha niya rin or in-estimate niya rin yung biomass or gaano kabigat yung mga isda na yun. Now for fish, we have like indicator species and commercially important species. So yung commercially important species, ito yung mga species ng isda na nakikita natin sa palengke. So ito yung kinakain natin. Yung indicator species naman, ito yung species of isda ng mga isda that if you see them or their presence in a certain coral reef area, somehow constitutes to the coral reef being healthy. So pwede mo i-segment mo yung data na yon. So you have a general data for all the species that you can see, but you also have indicator species, and then you can segment into indicator species and commercially important species or target species. So, ayun, dun mo makikita, ang konti ng target species ko. So, ibig sabihin, kukonti yung huli ng mga isda na pwede namin kainin. Or, may indicator species dito. It tells me that this coral reef is healthy, in a way healthy. Yan yung importance ng fish data.
Yeah. And anyway, going back doon sa sinabi mo kanina, sir, about I just remembered yung sa parang medyo mas priority of course naman ang livelihood, ang food, kaysa sa sustainability somehow. Although all of those actually are in the SDGs. Number 12, parang number 12 yung responsible consumption something. And then number 2, C0 hunger. Sa ngayon kasi ang state ng Pilipinas. Now just naisip ko, of course, kailangan natin pakainin muna yung mga tao.
Yes.
Before we do those sustainability practices. However, if nakatingin nga lang tayo sa present, na pinapakain nga natin yung present, mawawala naman tayo ng pagkain sa future. So, we actually need to have a balance na napapakain yung present, but at the same time, meron enough food source pa rin in the future. So, I think yun din yung kahalagahan dito of monitoring na at least hindi natin napapabayaan yung future. And I guess in that sense, na solve yung SDGs number 12, number 2, and maybe I think may iba pang I think meron ding SDG for the marine something So ayun. Anyway,
can I add to that? Sige. So I don't have the exact figures, pero Dr. Laura David, one of the co-founders of Fisheye and the professor at the UP Marine Science Institute, has a slide on this. But Filipinos don't realize that actually fish is our main source of protein. Karamihan ng provinces rely on fish for protein. So it's not just the future, it's the present.
At saka, wag nating hayaang mangyari na magi-import pa tayo ng isda. Archipelago na nga tayo.
That is true.
Pa tayo ng isda. So, I think, lalo na, if you're an archipelago, obviously, malaki yung surface or yung coastal area. So, fish really is maybe one of the staple protein source nga ng Pilipinas.
Trust the digital future with Twala. Secure and tamper-proof digital signature. Electronic notarization service. And custom AI agents for intelligent document workflows. Visit twala.io to learn more. In today's digital world, your organization needs more than just technology. It needs a strategic partner. At Symph, we build web and mobile apps that drive innovation for startups, enterprises, and organizations worldwide. Visit symph.co today.
Protect your assets from bugs before bad hackers exploit them. And launch your products seamlessly with Secuna, your trusted partner in cybersecurity. Receive reports in real time and work with security experts to find bugs in your products before others do. Let's make your security our priority.
But anyway, sir, punta naman tayo sa onting stories nito, onting background ni Fisheye. You mentioned na kanina that Fisheye is actually a DOST project. Pero paano nga ba, sir, nagsimula yung siguro conceptualization niya? Maybe you can tell more about sila Dr. Naval, like the inventor. So, maybe pakwento lang, sir, parang pinanggalingan talaga ni Fisheye and how the project came to be as it is now.
So I entered in the last phase, in the commercialization phase. Pero I heard a story, no, na Fisheye actually started when Dr. Pros Naval was presenting a different project on computer vision. And Dr. Laura David of the Marine Science Institute attended that conference or saw that presentation. And she was struck with the idea. So after the talk, nilapitan niya si Dr. Pros.
And by the way, Dr. Pros kasi is computer science.
Yes.
So this is like a combination ng marine science and ng computer science.
Yes. So kaya for Fisheye, no, you have fish in the marine science component, and then AI is the computer science. So yung story went, nilapitan ni Dr. Lau si Dr. Pros and saying, kaya rin ba etong computer vision na to sa isda? Ang kwento ni Dr. Pros at Dr. Lau, highly confident sila na napakadali. So they said yes. And then they started writing the proposal.
What year was that, if I may ask?
I think that was around the first project under Fisheye was around 2016.
Oh, okay.
So probably that conference happened 2 years or a year before that.
Oh, I mean, I'm thinking kasi even to 2014, 2016, although ngayon kasi si AI, ChatGPT, parang medyo normal eh. Pero 2014, 2016, ganun na sila ka-confident na yung capability ng AI for image recognition. The fact na yung mga fish, halos magkakamukha naman talaga sila. Maybe may difference sa size, sa color, sa shapes, whatever. Pero I think in 2014, I'm not that sure sa state ng AI nun, pero the fact na alam nila na magagawa yun, that's actually a very advanced thing that
Yes.
they actually have knowledge on that.
Yeah. And the story goes with that. Yun yung akala nila. Ganon kadali.
Okay. So,
But
hindi ganun kadali.
eventually, hindi pala. Kasi in identifying fish species, iba-iba yung indicators. Meron dyan kulay. Meron din dyan, yung iba, paresa sila na itsura, meron lang siyang tuldok. Ibang species na siya. Or may iba, halos talaga magkamukha, meron lang din siyang iba sa fin niya. So, they realized that doing the project. So, kaya, if you can imagine, the amount of, or the level of technology we had before, and the amount of technology that we have now, talagang maraming pinagdaanan yung Fisheye. Napakahirap, sobrang daming data validation, ilang beses inalter yung algorithm.
But sir, how many species is this available to recognize?
So as long as, known yung species.
Yes.
So as mentioned, we are 97% accurate sa 517 species
okay.
common.
Okay.
Yung mga uncommon, tinatag pa rin siya ng algorithm. Alam pa rin siya ng algorithm. Though I have also to stress this na we don't rely fully on AI species ID. We also have validators, fish experts, para naman masabi kung tama or makorek yung pag-ID nung AI. Kasi alam mo naman, yung AI, it learns. So you have to, pag mali yung ID niya, you have to correct it. And that is where validators come in.
And sige sir, going forward dun sa collaboration ni Dr. David at ni Dr. Naval. So how then ito naging DOST project, and then moving forward, nasa commercialization stage na ngayon. So any stories pa sir about that?
Yes. So, yun nga. So eventually, na-realize nila, no, aside from ID, kaya rin ng biomass, which is a big thing. And then, pumasok yung phase 2, which is the market validation. And through that project, they saw the value of Fisheye. Kaya, DOST push it further to commercialization through the Fast Track project or Fast Track program ng DOST PSHEARED. And dito nabuo yung Fisheye Inc. Dito nagsimula yung patent applications, SEC registration, etc. So I also have to say no na since this is I've mentioned the patent now already. Medyo nahirapan din pala yung fisheye sa patent. Though napaka novel nung invention. Hindi pa ganun ka organized ang patenting in the Philippines. In fact, dun sa 5 minention ko, Philippines pa yung pinakahuling patent na nag-grant. And we also had lots of learnings when it comes to patent filing. In certain countries, hindi mo pala, alam mo naman pag projects pinapublish, di ba? Publications. Actually, isa siya sa mga 6Ps na mga DOST projects. Pero we have to be careful. Kasi if we have innovations that we publish, there are certain countries, and we've learned this the hard way, once you publish, it's not patentable. For example, in Japan, nilabas mo na eh. So it was not patentable. So at least for some, or this is a wake-up call to the UST that we should look into our 6Ps pag nakalagay ng publications. If we see that the innovation is novel or patentable, we might say or consider, ngayon pag naggagawa kami proposal, nilalagyan ko siya na asterisk ng publication but would not affect the patentability of the event.
Okay.
So, isa yun sa mga learnings na nalamang namin all throughout.
That's actually interesting.
Yes.
And, anyway, sir, sa ano ulit, I'm just curious about the composition ng team ngayon. So you're a part of the team na now, and then this is housed sa UP Diliman Marine Science Institute, no? So ngayon ba, sir, kamusta yung team na gumagawa nitong, or this is, may R&D stage pa ba, or may development stage pa ba now that it's also in the commercialization stage? So, para ano yung team composition nito now?
Yes. So yung story nga, no? 2018 yung commercialization. We were about to, natapos siya 2020. We were about to parang launch Fisheye Inc. Unfortunately, pandemic. So talagang mas lalong nagkaroon ng delay sa Fisheye. Pero the team stick. You still have Dr. Pross and Dr. Lau, so as professors. But yung team was somehow distributed through projects. And yung mga natira, the computer sciences part and the marine scientist part is the current team now for Fisheye. So Fisheye is somehow hybrid. We are still researchers for different projects, but we do Fisheye projects na.
Okay.
So far, project-based pa rin yung setup ng Fisheye. Pero slowly, we are gaining traction. So, like for example, Brandon here, before mga exhibits na ito, mag-isa lang ako eh. Pero now, we need Brandon kasi I am now focused on project management, project development, and we need some people to do admin. We need people to do marine science, computer science. So, yun yung composition of Fisheye. Hybrid. For now. But mentioning traction, no, kahit nagkaroon kami ng setback during the pandemic, ang maganda doon, na-reach out kami ng mga international partners. The first international partner that we had was Blue Alliance. It's a French NGO that manages marine protected areas in the Philippines, Indonesia, and some parts in Africa. We started our talks during the pandemic and eventually nag-kick off kami 2023, 2022. Tinest yung Fisheye initially sa Mindoro and then eventually sa Indonesia. So, nagkaroon kami ng international traction. And then just 2 months ago or 3 months ago, KAUST or King Abdullah University of Science and Technology found fisheye actually. So, and they reach out again.
Paano kaya?
Since yun nga, actually, no, mas matunog unfortunately, mas matunog yung fisheye internationally. Because they see the novelty of the invention. So KAUST reached out, and 2 months ago or a month ago, we went to Saudi and deployed fisheye in the Red Sea.
Oh, wow.
So, kaya dito na namin binabank or dito na sinasabi na yung initial intention namin was to help the LGUs. Nire-recognize na kami internationally. So please, locally, our plea is use the technology. Kaya somehow we also have a strategy of convincing DOST, and it's a good thing, no? That this is actually ito yung intention ni Secretary. If we have DOST innovations or products, we use them. And good to say, no, na fisheye under DOST 6 in next month would have training and deployment in Estancia. And the first LGU for piloting the fisheye box is Surigao del Sur DOST for their Tandag City Smart project with Sea Waves actually. So we are now somehow gaining traction locally, thankfully through the DST, since they are now recognizing that our products are not just, or our projects should not just be shelved as publications, but should be used to have impact in society.
Yeah. That's actually a very interesting commercialization story. I-clarify ko lang, sir, yung commercialization aspect nito. So, this can be like commercialized nga as a service. Like yung kina KAUST ba, are this service or
Yes, it was a service.
And then this can also be commercialized as the fisheye box.
Yes. So yung box is still on the pilot state. Tandag would be the pilot LGU for the deployment.
As in the box.
The box.
Okay.
But so far we are just placing the box in the Philippine setting. Kasi nga, as mentioned, no, iba naman yung species ng isda doon sa Red Sea.
Yeah.
And kailangan pa namin i-train yung algorithm to identify these species, to bulk up the library. But the more surveys that we do, the more places that we go to, the more the AI learns. So eventually, baka ang fisheye box 2.0, hindi lang siya common species. Baka kasama na yung ibang species within the Coral Triangle and additional areas. So we want to start small for now, common species with the fisheye box. But eventually, the more places that we go to, the more data that we gather, the library expands.
Yeah, it's very very interesting actually. Parang journey nga rin siya, no? And you also find out different cultures even, different cultures and even different priorities nga and maybe I think although ang priority ng Philippine LGUs, Philippine government is more pa in the livelihoods, but I guess once ma-convince tayo that this is actually a very good technology, a working technology being adopted by other countries, and papunta na rin naman tayo sa prioritization ng sustainable marine life, for example, I think papunta tayo doon.
Yeah, kaya nga in fact, sobrang crucial na times to para sa amin for fisheye. Kasi matunog ang West Philippine Sea and matunog ang sinasabi nila, no, na marami tayong yaman dagat. And we want to ride on that hype, just to make a point that we really are rich in natural resources and we have to manage and protect them properly.
Ayun, sige sir. Maybe last question na tayo since mag 2 p.m. na, no. Ano nga ba sir yung siguro moving ahead pa, and maybe nasama na to sa mga project proposals ninyo, yung vision or parang the future that you see really for Fisheye. So lahat ba talaga ng LGUs in the Philippines, lahat ng coastal areas even or even sa island coastal areas and yung mga outside ocean boundary lines, no, where fisher folks fish, lahat talaga nag-fish eye.
Well, that's the dream, no? We also wanted to become Tete sa Moonshot, but we wanted to be UP Diliman's first unicorn. But at least for Fisheye, kung titingnan mo, yung rig namin palit ng palit yan. Before, sobrang laki niyan, sobrang bigat. We have 12 cameras. But given the advancement in technologies, we just need one pair. So, ganyan na lang siya kaliit. So, eventually, moving forward, it started as a service and now we're offering a product. So, the Fisheye system is very promising. Kasi, etong current Fisheye setup is for coral reef fishes. Coral reef fishes or coral reefs are around like 5 meters to 20 meters. But now we have another DOST Picard project that we have mounted this system on ROVs so that we can look at fishes beyond 20 meters up to 100 meters so far. Yun yung project namin for now. So, in terms of deployment, we are now looking into ROVs. In terms of analysis, we have the box now. So, aside from the hardware improvement, we have the software improvement. But more pa is we just don't want Fisheye to be a monitoring tool. We want, as much as possible, the goal is to capacitate nga coastal communities. So may it be through Fisheye as a service or as a product, as long as people through capacity building or through citizen science know the importance of coastal protection and management, then we have a market for Fisheye. And then we are not just looking at Fisheye as a monitoring tool, but we want to use it also for education purposes. So, yung 360 na yan, lately, we were introduced to VRs. Alam mo yung VR devices, no? It can actually be a good study tool for wannabe marine scientists. Kasi you can practice counting fishes, identifying species from your seat, from your office, from your room. We have the data, 360 data, upload to the VR box, and practice ID. So eventually, kung confident ka na, so, Fisheye as scaling up is not just scaling up through the technology, but also investing on human capital. We have the tool, pero we can further improve. The goal is not to replace the people, but to make or to expand the people's capabilities. So, yun yung isa pa namin tinitignan. We also have this wide or moonshot dream. Imagine an aquarium. Say, kasi technology na, no? We have like touch capacitive glasses. Imagine if you can point at a fish and then the screen gives you the ID, its importance, diba? Where can it be found in the Philippines? Fisheye can also be applicable sa ganon.
Any aquarium, so the aquarium will just install yung Fisheye and
Yes.
then pwede na siya.
Hopefully, yeah. No? So you have underwater cameras, and then you have touch capacitive glasses, and then you have now an interactive aquarium. So the goal is not to expand Fisheye just as a tool, but to make more marine scientists. And yun naman talaga, di ba? We are going back to the problem. We lack the experts. We lack the capability to do so. And with this, we pique the interest of Filipinos to look into marine sciences, to look into like doing something for our cause. So it's holistic, actually.
Yeah. So actually, the best part here for Fisheye as a technology and as a startup is it's really focused not just in the product or service that you're developing. Kasi nagpatong-patong siya, nagtuloy-tuloy siya. Nag-adapt actually ang Fisheye, depending on what the people need. Yung service, naging product, and then yung technology, nag-evolve siya. Because at the end of the day, you're looking at the problem and you're doing your best to solve that problem.
Yes.
That's the good thing with this kind of startups na hindi nagpo-push ng product or ng solution, kundi naka-base sa problem and yun yung solve. In this case, dalawang bagay, the need to monitor marine life, and second, the need to build capacity or expertise sa pag-monitor ng marine life nga.
Yes.
And I think overall then, ang vision nito and ang grand message nito ng technology, ng Fisheye, ng company is for the Philippines nga to be more caring, to be more aware then of the importance of our marine life kasi tayo nga naman ay archipelago na piniyayaan ng malawak na coastal area.
Yes.
Saan meron tayong mga isda, mga fish na aalagaan at kung may sobra, pwede ngang maging food source.
Actually, kung pwede ako magyabang ng konti, no? Fisheye is first of its class. It is proudly Filipino made. And like all of these technologies, what we are just trying to prove is that Filipinos can do it. Filipinos are well equipped enough to make innovations and do changes. So rather than looking at international technologies, we have to invest on the Filipino minds first because we can do it. In fact, we are exporting our assets nga, diba?
That's good.
So the plea is invest, not just in our technologies, but in our human capital.
Introducing Aim High. Smarter construction management starts here. Monitor costs and progress with real-time insights. Plan ahead and adapt with streamlined scheduling tools. Make data-driven decisions to avoid costly delays. Increase efficiency and profit with Aim High.
Running a business? Make it smarter with Red Circle Global. Streamline operations, boost productivity, and manage everything in one powerful ERP system. Book your free business demo today at redcircleglobal.com. Guided by one of our top experts.
Ayun. Ayun, grabe. Napakagandang ending na sa ating podcast episode dito. Maraming salamat, Sir Justin, for sharing about Fisheye and for sharing the larger message nito para sa atin lahat. Baka may questions dyan from the live audience, pero kung wala po and mag-time na din naman tayo, thank you sa mga ating audience here and thank you, sir. By the way, sir, baka meron tayong listeners who want to know more about Fisheye, maybe you can lead them to the website or social media.
So Fisheye is very easy to find. Just type fisheye.ph. And then we have our website there. We have been featured in a GMA in 24 Horas. We have posted it there, so at least you have an idea of how Fisheye works. We also have there our tech brief. Or for people around here, you can visit our booth. Brandon can answer your questions.
At saka sayang hindi kita sa camera recording natin yung box tsaka yung camera But maybe they can search na lang din. So mga nakikinig dyan or sa mga nanonood, this will also be uploaded in YouTube and Spotify. So you can also search na lang Fisheye to see the actual products that Fisheye.
Oh yeah, and we also have our Facebook, Fisheye.
And ayun, thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
And thank you ulit sa ating live audience dito. Maraming salamat.
Good afternoon po.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to our 61 patrons. This episode is super powered by AskLexPH Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and more. Argum AI. Make smarter decisions by presenting both sides of an issue as argued by two distinct AI models. Pixel by ePlayment. Turn content into opportunity, grow deeper connections, and earn more. Only with Pixel. Sign up at pixel.eplayment.co. School of Profits. Filipino-led community for aspiring freelancers, VAs, agency builders, and online earners. Built to help you start, grow, and earn online together. Founders Launchpad, our ecosystem partner. Early stage accelerator providing venture capital funding, operational support, and mentorship. Hire Business Solutions, provider of the most configurable cloud-based payroll system in the Philippines. Agile Data Solutions, the Philippines' fastest growing market insights tech company with its data gathering platform, Hustle PH. Smile Checks, streamline hiring and onboarding with automated background checks. Cloud CFO, cloud accounting service provider for businesses ready to grow. Cloverly Tech, all-in-one digital platform for property developers. Body Beaties, accessible and personalized diabetes self-management application. HKB Digital Services, tech-based business tools including payroll, ticketing, and loyalty rewards. Hyperstocks, digital banking enabler for rural and thrift banks. One CFO, CFO services, bookkeeping and tax, and payroll processing for startups and small businesses. Unawa, driving digital transformation with secure, legally enforceable electronic signatures and robust AML compliance. School Tech, all-in-one AI integrated school and learning management system. Better Support, a Manila-based BPO company. They have a referral program for people who can bring in new clients. You might know a Western-based business that needs better support. Britanna, enterprise-grade ERP solution that fits the small and medium business budget. Wonder Brand, data science-driven brand strategy and design for emerging markets. East Point Business Outsourcing Services, one-stop shop for streamlined business solutions for MSMEs such as business registration, bookkeeping, and more. DiviCode Technologies Incorporated, IT solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. NutriCoach, personalized nutrition and wellness programs for you. This episode is powered by Stugbodok, JIA Engineering Solutions, Alcacon Aquafeeds 1LJ, Grey Wolf Technologies Philippines, Pareto Consulting, Jure.ph, Big Giant Games, Pahatid PH, Wistless PH, Tech Tribe, Yay, Uplift Code Camp, Board Prep, Dohe Philippines, Edfolio, Hive Rooms, Sirius MD. Support the podcast through the links in the description.